I've done it. I'm on 3 months on T, and yeah, it's the big change in voice mostly, I would say. That is my voice now. I guess it is deeper from the last 2 months. I actually haven't checked the videos, so I'm gonna compare it and maybe insert some footage now.
So yeah, this is my voice. 1 day on T. Hello! So it's been a whole month since I started testosterone.
It has been officially 2 months now since I started testosterone, and this is me now. So I guess we have had quite a change in my tone of voice. And yeah, still it does depend on my mood or who I'm talking to, if I talk in English, German, or Japanese, or Spanish. But other than that, I feel like it's again been deeper since yesterday than the last few days as well before that. It just changes randomly. Other than my voice, this time I haven't experienced as much new changes. It's all the old stuff just continuing to grow. For example, hair growth. I now have hair on my inner thighs where I've never had hair before, and it's getting quite thick, so oh, that's new. My muscle mass has increased insanely, even though I've not really been doing anything, but that's amazing. And I have finally, for the first time in my life, I was able to do pull-ups, and no matter how sporty I was in the past, I could never do a single pull-up, and now I can do one, but a few times, one, not just in a row. So actually this is all I have for physical changes. Maybe more beard growth. I'm shaving a bit more often now. My pimples, they come and go. It also still depends on my ovulation time. I've had a little bit of like reddish discharge, which is probably the remains of my period, and that's why my pimples are getting a lot worse at the moment, but normally they are better. And I'm trying to just eat as clean as possible, sleep as much as possible, which is not working at all, and wash my face and use coconut oil and essential oils. The rest is really just social changes. For example, I've been to the men's bathroom twice. One at my school when there was no one around, so that was quite interesting. It was like a small adventure. And the second time was actually at a very crowded station, so I felt quite uncomfortable. I think some people looked at me, or it might have just been paranoia, but I was just like, I'm not gonna look at all those people standing there and peeing, and I'm just gonna ignore them and be on my phone until I can get in my booth. Because it was really crowded and I was in a hurry, and the women's bathroom was even more crowded, so I was like, whatever. And nothing happened. I mean, I hear a lot from people being kicked out of toilets, but then I wonder how much time they spend on toilets so people can actually tell someone and have them kicked out, so I don't think that's a big issue. I've met tons of new queer, trans, non-binary people, and that has been the most amazing thing the last month. Just hanging out with people who understand kind of what I'm going through and how I feel. Well, everyone feels different, but at least, you know, I have that same basic understanding. One of my close friends, he is trans and he's passing as male now. It's also very interesting because when we talk about, you know, things like dysphoria or euphoria and how we feel, it's just, we're so different, and that made me again notice how different everyone is themselves. And then I've also met trans women and heard about their experiences and how very much different it is to trans men. Story time. I have met a person that I know from 7 years ago-ish, and I was helping out at this kindergarten. It was a teacher from the kindergarten, and I met her again just like 3 weeks ago. And I mean, I'm presenting like this right now. My voice got quite a lot lower from before, so I think it made her feel uncomfortable in a way. And also, I mean, I have piercings, tattoos, colored hair, and that's a no-no for Japanese standards. And when we were talking and just, you know, thinking about the old times and how nice it was, she was first, at some point she was saying like, oh yeah, your style, it looks so cool. I could totally tell that she was just saying that because she felt uncomfortable. I'm like, well, thank you. And then she was saying, you've grown up to be such a wonderful woman. And I'm like, not really, but thanks, I guess. It was meant to be a compliment. And that was one of those moments where it's so obvious that people feel so uncomfortable when they see someone outside of the gender binary and outside of what they think the gender is supposed to be, that they kind of have to vocalize themselves about that to, you know, make sure that, okay, yes, you are a woman, you might seem very masculine, but I understand that you are a woman, don't worry, I see you as a woman. And also, every time people thought I was male, even before transitioning, even before anything, they were always like, I'm so sorry, as if they have offended me. And I'm thinking, like, if I present myself very masculine, duh, of course I'm gonna be seen as male sometimes, and I don't get why people think it's such a big deal. That again shows how our image of, like, if you're male you have to present very masculine to be seen as attractive, and the other way around. And I'm like, that's just stupid. Can we please get over that stupid gender binary? It's just been causing trouble all over the place. But yeah, that has nothing to do with my transition anymore. Well, kind of. Gender plays a role in everyone's lives. And also I've been going to these lectures about trans theory, and it has been very interesting. I've been learning a lot, and it's in Japanese, and I'm struggling to understand a few things, but mostly I understand it. And lately I've been, one of my big topics in myself as well is to understand the transness of trans people trying to pass as cis and trying to appear as cis as possible versus trans people who just embrace their transness and don't try to be cis. Because, I mean, I understand both sides. I understand when trans people have so much dysphoria and they are the ones that think they're born in the wrong body compared to the ones who are just, oh, that's just who I am, and I'm happy to be who I am, and I wouldn't want to be someone else, and have more of that trans pride, I guess. Yeah, because, you know, trans is beautiful. I've met so many queer people lately, and I have to say they're all such wonderful and such beautiful beings, and I'm so blessed to finally have now so many queer people around me, and it is definitely improving a lot. Being able to talk about trans things without feeling bad or feeling like I'm talking about that all the time and only that, and, you know, I kind of feel, if I talk to cis people about trans things, occasionally I feel kind of bad. I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm pushing my topic on you again, and I'm like, sorry. So it's good to have people who understand and who've been through similar things to talk to about all of those things. That is definitely important. So if you're queer in any way, find people that are like you. That's my advice for today. And that's all. And I mean, that monthly thing, it depends. If I see a lot of changes next month, I'll probably record another video. If not, then maybe I'm gonna wait 2 or 3 more months and see how much changes until then, because just seeing like it's all the same or it doesn't sound too interesting. But I mean, it's good for myself as well to keep track of and just to talk about more social things, because then I can look back on and be like, oh yeah, I went through that, how cute. But yeah, see you next time.